Imagine walking into a room where no one speaks, yet everyone has already decided who you are. Some glance with quiet admiration, others with calculated hesitation. A few won't meet your eyes at all. You haven't said a word, but the verdict is set. Why do some people command respect the moment they enter a space, while others struggle to be acknowledged? Why do certain individuals invoke admiration and caution simultaneously, while others are overlooked or tested endlessly? You cannot control how others feel about you, but what if you could shape what they associate you with? Respect, fear, power. But where does true power begin? Power is an illusion, but one so potent that entire civilizations rise and fall because of it. What makes one person command authority effortlessly while another fights to be heard? The answer lies not in strength, nor in force, but in perception. Carl Jung believed that we are all governed by archetypes: the king, the warrior, the outlaw, the fool. Society has conditioned most people to embody the latter without question. From childhood, you were taught to be agreeable, to seek approval, to fear rejection. You were told respect is earned through kindness, through self-sacrifice. Yet, observe the world long enough, and you'll see a bitter truth. Kindness alone is not enough. Schopenhauer argued that human nature is driven by an insatiable will, an unconscious force of dominance and survival. People test boundaries instinctively, sensing weakness, however subtle. The moment they perceive you as incapable of resistance, you become prey. That's why respect, by itself, leaves you vulnerable. Without a degree of strategic fear, an unspoken understanding that you are not to be crossed, your respect will be exploited, twisted into servitude. But fear alone is a weapon that dulls over time. If you wield it without wisdom, you become a tyrant. Respected, yes, but resented. True power is not in making others cower, but in making them hesitate. So the question remains: how do you balance fear and respect without losing yourself? Most people go through life unaware of the silent forces shaping their existence. They assume their struggles are personal, their failures unique. But look closer, and you'll see the patterns, the invisible laws that determine who thrives and who is devoured. Respect without fear breeds exploitation. You've seen it before: the kind-hearted leader who is betrayed by those closest to him, the selfless friend whose generosity is mistaken for weakness, the loyal worker who is passed over while the ruthless climber ascends. Society does not reward goodness. It rewards control. Cognitive biases, deeply embedded in the human psyche, dictate our reactions. The halo effect tricks people into believing strength and competence are linked, even when they aren't. The authority bias makes us obey those who exude dominance, regardless of their true merit. The contrast principle ensures that those who stand firm are respected, while those who waver are dismissed. This is why those who command both respect and fear shape reality itself. Their presence alone alters the chemistry of the room, shifting power dynamics before words are even spoken. It's not about aggression, it's about aura. A calculated man is more dangerous than a violent one, a poised leader more feared than a screaming tyrant. And yet, most remain blind to these truths. They continue to seek validation, believing respect alone will shield them. But history tells another story. What happens to those who rely solely on goodwill? They become cautionary tales. The world does not ask whether you deserve power. It only asks whether you can hold it. Power is not given. It is taken, but not through brute force, not through empty displays of dominance. The strongest men, the most influential leaders, the ones who bend reality to their will, they understand something most never will. Control is perception. Presence is power. Consider the great tacticians of history: Machiavelli, Sun Tzu, Marcus Aurelius. They did not raise their voices to be heard. They did not waste energy demanding respect. They simply became forces of nature, composed, unreadable, decisive. They mastered the art of controlled silence. This is where the rebellion begins, within you. The first step? Stop seeking approval. The moment you crave validation, you become a pawn in someone else's game. Let go of the need to be liked. It's a trap. The greatest men in history were both revered and feared. That is no accident. The second step? Master the power of unpredictability. A person who is entirely predictable is easy to manipulate. Speak less. Observe more. When you do act, make it decisive. Let others wonder what you're thinking, where you stand. Fear does not come from aggression. It comes from uncertainty. The final step? Control the energy you project. People respond not to words, but to presence. Walk like a king, even if you aren't one yet. Move with certainty, and the world will respond in kind. The moment you stop chasing respect and start commanding it, without words, without force, everything changes. Now, the ultimate truth awaits. Shall I proceed? In the end, power is not about force. It is not about manipulation. It is not even about dominance. True power is the ability to exist on your own terms, untouched by the opinions, fears, or expectations of others. The moment you understand this, you become untouchable. The insults, the doubts, the judgments, they lose their grip on you. People no longer have control over your emotions, your actions, or your identity. And here's the paradox. The less you seek power, the more you naturally attract it. The less you try to be respected, the more people will admire you. The less you fear losing control, the more influence you hold over your world. Most live their entire lives trapped in an illusion, believing they must convince the world of their worth. But the moment you step out of this illusion, everything changes. Power is not something you chase. It is something you become. So ask yourself, right now, in this very moment, are you living for the approval of others, or are you existing on your own terms? Your answer will define your reality. This is the truth. What you do with it is up to you.